Hi teachers. So I'm gonna actually use Desmos to create some assessments. So kindly log into your Desmos page if you are not logged in. How to check you are logged in or not, just on the right side corner you will see your account. So make sure you are logged in and you are on this page. Here you can explore the teachers page. So here you go. Here is the teachers home page. So click on teachers home in order to get started with the assessment. So when you click on teachers home page, it will take you to the teacherdesmos.com. And sometimes it does log off, so just kindly log in again and make sure your account is there. So in order to start with any assessment activity, you have to see on the left hand side, if you can just see here on custom activities. So click on the custom activities. This is the place where you are gonna actually create your activities. For example, I have created these activities. You can see very recently I have created one on arithmetics and geometric. This is the assessment activity. Actually, I can show you very quickly, and if you like, you can definitely create very similar to this. So look, first I created some card sort game for my students. I've told them like, okay, create 4 triplets, match 2 relevant cards to the corresponding sequence, and here they are gonna see the updates. Now it depends on you whether you want to show this or not, right? So don't worry, let me just quickly show you that if it is okay or not. Look, I matched 2 correct cards and it does show my 2 correct cards, right? And if I match with everything correctly, then look at this. Look, so now all 3 cards are correct and my status is getting updated. Next screen, I'm actually asking them one math input question. So math input question where you are asking your students to enter any response in numbers. So for example, I'm just quickly doing it. So the answer in that question is, let me just figure it out from here. I have a calculator here and I can find out 332 minus 17 and then divided by 9 plus 1. So look, my answer should be 36. So if I enter 30, let's enter wrong, 35, submit. Look, you can show a message of try again, or you can just ignore it, because if it is your, let's say, a proper assessment where you don't want to give them feedback. So look, 36, and here you go, it's correct. So there are different ways how you can give feedback, or if you don't want to feedback, that's completely okay, because at the back end you can set everything so that at the end you as a teacher can see how many questions a student attempted correctly. So you can go for the next screen. There is something, select the correct combination. For example, if I choose here and then submit, okay, it's correct. So I have provided different types of questions on this assessment. This is actually a self-assessment for my students. Side by side, I can see their performance, how they're doing, and on the screen, they can see how they are doing actually. So if you want, yeah, they should know that, then you can definitely look. So it is good. Then only I'm revealing the next part. So once they're done with the first part, then they see the second part. And if this part is correct, then they should see the last part. And accordingly, I'm changing the feedback. So like this, you have a numerical answer here. Here again, very similar to the one we had, number of terms, sum of the sequence, and you continue like this. Here you can provide the scribbler so that you can just show them, or like hint. So here in my question, I'm providing hint to my students. Let's say they are struggling how to recall these formulas, so they can just click on help and see this. Otherwise, you can use this space in order to write or scribble. Yeah, and then they can feed answers here. So here you go. Again, there are options for you. So look, so this way I have created this assessment. So if you're looking for such assessments, no matter it is a self-assessment or the normal assessment without feedback, I call self-assessment as with feedback, so that student know that where the student is doing wrong or right, and then they can continue learning by making mistakes or by correct answering those questions correctly, right? So this is one way of creating it, but I haven't discussed how to create this. But if this is something which is exciting you, that yes, I want to learn how to create something like this, so this will be the first video for you. I'm going to create a series of videos so that you can understand different phases of creation of assessment activities. So let's start with the first one, and I'll show you what features of Desmos I'm going to use. So I'm going to click on custom activities, and here you will see create a new activity. Click, type the name of your activity, let's say the assessment 1, let's say about numbers, HCF, LCM, whatever. So just write, you can put more information if you need, otherwise just click, because you can change this anytime. Click on create, and here you go. So you can use this plus button to add different slides, and on each slide there are different components you can add. So as you can see here, I have many components here, and which we can actually use to use in our activity. For example, first one which I want to highlight. First of all, you should click on notes in order to add something in the form of text. For example, let's enter first question. Question number 1. Find the multiple, or find the product. Let's just do the simple one. Product of, let's say 30 and 6, right? Very simple question. Of course, you can change question as you like. Now, what I want to show you, once you have added this note is always useful whenever you want to add this text. Later, I will also tell you how you can generate different numbers here and here using note. But now I'm not gonna go with that. I'll just show you. You type your question, one question, and then how many types, how many ways you can ask this question to your students. First of all, you can ask free response, which is the mixture of both numbers and text. This is math response, where you cannot enter text because text will convert into math format. So this only used when you want to ask your students to type numbers. Multiple choices, ordered list, and checkboxes. And if you go here, you can add table if you have many parts of the same problem, right? And there is a card sort, but card sort will work only for the full screen. So here we have added the note, so we cannot add card sort or marble slides or the challenging question, right? So let's use the first thing. So I'm gonna use multiple choice. First of all, click on multiple choice. If you want to ask your students to give explanation, click it, otherwise leave it. So you can choose whichever you want. So hide it. And here you can type your answers. For example, this is the multi. It's very similar to the Kahoot or quizzes. So you just type your correct answers, right? And as many options you want. So let's just look at the preview, how it's gonna look like. Have a look. So this is your question screen. This is how your students are gonna see this page. Look, student screen preview. They are gonna see question 1, find the product of 30 and 6. So they can choose, right? And look at this part is actually for teachers. If this is a dot, which means student is just trying to attempt. So there is nothing specific that teacher can check. teacher can only see that student is doing something on this particular page. So let me just cross it and let's select the correct option, 180. When you do this, always go here on these three dots, click and randomize the choices. So that students will see these answers in different orders. You can change the way how you want to see the buttons. Let's say it's just a basic button or toggle buttons or tiles like a big things. So let me just go with the toggle buttons. So let's have a preview now. Look, now there is a toggle button. Look, once you select the wrong, teacher will know student is doing wrong here. Correct? Teacher will know that yes, student has done this question correctly. And again, I said you can give feedback if it is a self-assessment or not, because you are going to check at the end how student is doing. So this is one way of adding one question. And when you use multiple choice or check boxes, because sometimes you may ask question to a student where there are two correct answers. For example, factorization, right? So student can choose two different types of factorization, right? And then you can make this question into check boxes. So when you click on check boxes, which means there are multiple options which are correct. So let me just change this. Let's say 90 times 2, right? So I'm just changing because I know both answers are correct. And of course you can add more options if you want. And if you want to type a mathematical expression in these options, you have to click here, type maths, just click, and now you can type whatever you want. Let's say you're just typing something HCF or powers, x power 2, whatever. So I hope you know how to create these things using your keypad. If not, you can use this keypad will not work here because you are creating an activity. So make sure you know how to enter powers and subscript and superscripts. It's very easy. From my keypad, if I type X from my keypad and then shift and 6, because on 6 there is a power thing. So look what I have used. Let me just type for you. So I'm just clicking X and then shift with 6. So I'm using these three things to put the power, and then the power was 2, so therefore I entered 2. So X shift 6 2. That's how I used on my keypad. There is an option for you. If you are struggling how to use these powers, go to Desmos, go to graphing calculator. Now you type here, because in this you have this option to type using keypad. So let's say you wanted to type x power 3, right? So what I did, let me show you. So I just type x, click on power, and then enter the number. Same thing you can do with the fractions. Let's say plus, I'm just typing y power, let's say 5 over 3. So I'm using this division to convert anything into the fraction. So this way, when you have, let's say you're done with this, what do you do? Just select it, shift left arrow, selected, copy, Control C, and now go back to your activity, and here just enter the next option, click on this, type math, paste. Look, so it is going to appear the way it looks like here, because you might be struggling with the square roots, etc. For example, you want to type square root, just type here, right? And then you copy this and then go there, just type. That's easy. Or you are just looking, how can I write third root, fourth root, etc. So this is another way of doing it. So the way how I do nth root, just type nth root. Look, so when I type nth root, it gives me this option to put any power here and then any number inside. Let's say you want to type this, just copy this from here and go back to your activity and paste. Look, so whatever you want, you can definitely create that option in math format. If you copy from Word document or Google Doc, that may not work. I never tried because I use this a lot, so I'm familiar with my keypad and I know where the power, where are the superscripts, etc., where are the roots. So you can definitely explore this part. Otherwise, this is the best option. Do not open Google Doc, rather use Desmos graphing calculator to type these things. So because this is what we call LaTeX. So these are written in LaTeX format, and you copy this, and look, if you copy without clicking here, then look how it's gonna see. This is the LaTeX form. So sqrt square root 4 and then 5. So you just need to play with these brackets. I don't want you to just get into this problem, so it's always better to type from here. Sorry, off the topic, but it was important because you must be dealing with these kind of things. So you need to know how you can enter these things using type math or copy from here and paste in your activity. I hope this is clear. Now, I know this is the wrong answer, but let's see, because we have selected two correct options. So just click on the preview. Look, the checkbox will look like this. So wrong, because I have selected wrong answer. This prompt will automatically be there. Select all that apply. Maybe I can guide you if you want to customize this, right? But not now. So look, if I select 180 as correct answer and 90 times 2, so the teacher can see, yes, it is correct. And this is another one just for you teachers. You can click here and see if it is correct. Look, if you do wrong, you see this is wrong as well, and there also. So yeah, this is one way of creating your assessment using either multiple choices or the check boxes. First option, I hope this is clear. And second option, let's go to the next slide. We can add math responses, or before we go to the math responses, let's go with the card sort. Okay, remember, if you want to add a full screen component, don't add any other component. Okay, so make sure the screen is blank, and now you can click on card sort. Here you have a card sort thing. There are three components: math or text, image, graph, and then answer key. You are gonna create that answer key. Let's do it. So math or text, I'm just gonna click here. Why images? Because you can upload images, right? Let's say you just found something on Google, right? Let me just find HCF and LCM question. It's okay, you can just copy from screenshot or whatever you want. So let's say I found this question, right? And I want to take a screenshot of this. So I'm gonna take screenshot, and let's say this is something, right? I know it's not correct, but you can just manipulate, capture. My screen will, my image will be saved, and then I can come here and click on image. I can add from my computer. So if I want to add, I can create. Look, this is the screenshot I just created. So it's being uploaded now, right? So this is how you can add images, right? Of course, nowadays there are a number of ways if you want to create different types of images or design them, right? So I'm just going to delete now, because what is more useful without that going on Google searching for images, just type here, and now you can, again, you have the same thing. You can type math or just words, right? Let's say factors of 18, right? This is the question. Now answer, let's say there are 2-3 options you want to have. One, I'm gonna say, okay, 1, 2, 3, 6, 18, right? Let's say this is one option. or the way how I can write 18 in prime factors. Prime factors. So then you can say, okay, 2 times 3 and then power 2, right? So in order to write power 2, again, as I said, you can use this type math, and then here you can type 3 shift 6 because that is going to give you arrow and then power 2, and you delete the previous 3, right? So this is how you can type everything in there. Don't worry, don't type that x because it's gonna look like a variable x, so you can avoid that. But 2 you can type, click here. So look, now it's more perfect, like better than the other one, right? So 2 times 3 square. So imagine these are 3 correct cards, right? So you keep on creating these cards, and there is an option for you. You can just click here and make it large card. I'll show you how this large card will look like. The font will be a little bit bigger than the normal cards, so you can just create. What I do generally, question card is larger, the other cards are small or normal size. You can create one more and then just keep on creating. Let me just create one more. What you can do, just copy this factors of 18, right? And here factors of, let's say, 30. Add another card and write down the factors. Let's say, okay, 1 2 3 5 10, right? 6 as well, yeah, 5 6 10 15 and then 30. So I'm just writing like that. So these are all factors. Of course, 1 is also a factor, 2 is also a factor, whatever way you just create your question on your own. And let's say, let me just create one more, right? And write down in the prime factors. So just copy this and come here and paste and then change it. So 2 times, let's say 3, right? And it may not go with the power, so times, then click type math, 5, right? Prime factors, 2 times 3 times 5. So okay, let's see, we are done with these 6 cards. Go to your answer key and now arrange your cards. So look, factors of 18, this is correct, that's what we thought, okay? And then this is also correct. So overlap them until they make a group. Look, they're gonna make a group. Same here, group and group. That's how student will see actually, like if they're grouping, they will see the pink and red kind of color. So you are done now. Let's see the preview. That's how students are gonna look like, because I did not make any card larger, but if you want, we can. Let's make the question card large, and you can just use this bold thing for the questions at least, because it depends on the content as well, because if the content is less, then it's not gonna help you to create. So what you can do, just put in the middle so that it will be a little bit different. Yeah, have a look now. Look, so these cards are a little bit different than the other cards, right? And if you see, okay, this has many things, so just come here and put it on the next page or next line. Now at least it will look better. So you can follow the same procedure. So look, right now it is cross because no cards are correct yet. So let's match the correct ones. Here you go, here you go, here you go, and now you see this thing is gonna turn into tick. Look, so this is only visible for teachers. As I said, no feedback here. Students are gonna just work like this and they're gonna leave it, right? Only you as a teacher will know on your dashboard that, okay, this student has done this is correctly, right? So this way you can do the card sort multiple choice. Third option, you can go with the ordered list. For example, you ask your students to put steps of a question of a solving equation in correct order, right? Let's do this. So what you can do, just write question at the top, solve, let's say 3x plus 7 equals to 22, right? And then you can start from this is the top label first, and here you can say last, right? Now we can add equation steps. So let's start with the equation. Again, if you like this form, 3x plus 7 equals to 22, the way how it is written, if you don't like, don't worry. As I said, just type maths, right? So when you copy and paste over there, because it was nothing with the powers and other stuff, so it's gonna take like that. So first step is this. Second step, you can say, okay, take away 7 from both sides, right? This is second step. And then once you are done with that, then your equation should look like 3x equals to 15, right? And then you say, okay, divide by 3, and then x, again just click on type, x equals to 5. So if you would like to check that student is aware about the steps, then you can verify from here. So what you have to do, just click here on these 3 dots. Look, use order as answer key. So of course, the way you typed, it is the correct order. So click here. Now you see here in the preview. So look, first, last will be written. You can customize whatever you want, but these can be dragged. Look, and again it's gonna show you cross. So without coding you can create your assessment. So let's arrange it. First, take away 7 from both sides, then we got this equation, divide by 3, x equals to 5. Look, it's correct. So 3 forms. 1, multiple choice or check boxes. Second, card sort, very easy. Third, use the ordered list, and you can be more creative in your questions, like create the way you want to, right? So create different types of questions, see what you want to type, what you want to ask your students. One more very quickly, but it will involve a little bit of code, okay? So stay with me. Let's do with the math response. So click on notes first so that you can actually create a question in a text format. One more tip. Let's say you want to repeat similar question, but in a different numbers or different statements. Let's say I want to use this question. So click here, preview. There is a copy button, copy, cross, come to a blank slide, just paste using Control V. On Mac it is Command V, right? On Windows it's Control V, on Mac it is Command V. So what is going to happen, the content from that slide being copied here and we have pasted. Now let's say you don't want to ask the question in a similar way. So delete this component, come here on these 3 dots, go down, delete, right? I'm really sorry, we cannot do undo here. So if by mistake something you did, you cannot get that component back. So be careful. So let's say now I want to ask a similar question, let's say just in numbers, right? So I'm going to add math response. So let's see the preview first. Look, question box where student can enter the response. Be particular, give instructions to your students what they should enter. Either they should enter the simplified answer, decimals, whatever, right? So if you are okay with that, just do. Otherwise you can also click these, ask student to explain their answer. Let me show you this preview. Let's say they have entered 23. submit and explain. They're going to submit and then explain, okay, why 30 times 6 is 23, for example. So now the good thing is they can upload image from their computer. So let's say they click on, it is going to work with iPad and on laptops. Do not try this on mobile. On mobile, there are few things which you can easily work, like students, not teachers, sorry. They can also record or not record, sorry, upload their audio, or they can just type in maths. Or if they don't choose any option, then it is simple text information. So let's say they want to explain you, yes, I know this because 3, let's say I'm using this fact, 3 times 6 is 18, therefore 30 times 6 is 180. So they can explain something like this, right? So otherwise they can upload image of their working steps. They can add answer here in the box, and then they can, let's say they submit it. If they want to edit, they can. Okay, so click and submit again. So let me show you if they can upload the images. So click here. They must have something in their system. So student can upload images here. Because now I'm not a student, so this functionality is disabled for me. But if you try this assessment as a student, you should be able to upload an image the way how we did in the card sort, right? So, but there is no feedback for the teacher, right? So let's make it useful. So I'm gonna just click back, untick this. I know the math response should be a number, right? 30 times 6 is 180. So I know a fixed number, and they cannot type in many ways. This is only the one way of writing this number. So we need to code a little bit. So what you have to do, just click on this. It's called edit computation layer. On my YouTube channel, there are many videos on add computation layer. So this is the one thing which I'm telling you now, but you can find more. Click here. Now what you should do, because you are checking that 180 is correct or not. For you, like 180 is going to be entered by the student, and you're going to verify, yes, it is correct. So what you have to do, just type correct. And this blue, it is actually showing sync because it's some technical in language. So correct. Now you give your condition when it is correct. So we call, because I'm giving condition on this component, so I'm going to use this dot. Now you have two options. Let x means some equation or numerical value. So I'm going to check on a numerical value. So click, and this numerical value should be what? Equals what? 180. That's it. You are done. One line of code and you are done. So one line of code. Correct. This numerical value is 180 and you are done. Yeah. So let's say we're done with this. So we can definitely test it out, right? So let's try this and test this. Okay. Yep. Let's see the preview now. Let me zoom back. Preview. Check the dashboard preview. 150. Wrong answer. Let's type 180. As soon as it is 180, it's gonna be like that. But there is a catch. Students are smart, you know, so they can type 90 or 30 times 6. Still it is correct. So there is a trick for you teachers which I want to give, because what is doing, this is working as a calculator for students. So they're gonna just type here and find the answer, right? You can disable this. So they can either type 30 times 6, but it won't show 180, right? And what you have to do in that case, just stay back, cancel this. go back, and here you have to make this disabled. The evaluation should be disabled. It's written here. So what you have to do, just type disabled evaluation true. That's it. So this will allow students not to see what they are multiplying. Look, the answer is correct, right? But they will not see 180. Therefore, it's very important to give them instructions. So what you should write, enter the final answer only. So that they don't type many things, right? So now when you give them very clear instructions, they're going to type only answer 180. It's done, submit, right? So I hope you can definitely make use of these 4 functionalities. Last one is a little bit complex, so don't worry. Try, copy the way how I did, right? And then try to change these things. So that's the first step for your creating of your assessments. What I'm creating, make a copy and then edit those responses. You can change the question and go here and change the response. Let's say you want to validate your answer with not 180, but for some other numbers, right? At least try these 4 things. In next video, I will share with you some more advanced features. For example, if you would look, you are looking for the response or feedback in card sort activity, or in the first one, right, the multiple choice. Let's say you give student selected the correct answer, and based on that you want to ask next question. So on a one screen you can do that. And what I haven't discussed with you, something from graph. So if you think your questions may have some graphical thing, definitely you can add that. Middle school teachers, you can add geometry component as well. Just click on geometry component, create any shape, and then ask them to type whatever they want, right? So let's just see the preview, because you can add multiple components here. Let's say a math response. So have a look, preview. So students can play around with the shape if you allow them, right? And then they can enter their response. So the good thing is, let's say you are doing with some parallel lines, angle properties, you gave one angle. What you can do, you can upload images as well. As a question, you can upload images and then ask relevant question so that they can enter in the box or in the table or in the checkboxes or in the responses. So whichever way you like. I will share some of my activities so that you can make use of those. What I told you, let's say you like my activity. I'm just showing you Desmos. Go back, teachers page. I'm just showing you my activity, which I've created, and then how you can make use of it. Let's say this is my activity and you like this page, right? So copy this page, go to your activity, click on a new page. You can definitely drag them if by mistake your questions are not in correct order, right? And bring it here, paste. The all stuff with coding, whatever I have done, now you have it, but you need to understand what I'm using. For example, how many components I'm using. This is a table, this is notes, this is multiple choice question, right? This is a button, and then this is another notes. So I'm using 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 components to create this one screen, because here I'm adding a button to create a new question every time. Look, my numbers. And if I click this button, the numbers are going to change, right? So numbers are going to, this is good when you want your students to practice or master one concept from one formula. You give them formula. For example, I gave them the help button as well. So they can click on the help button and they know what they should do. So, and then I'm asking them to enter in a math input box. So let's say you like it, change little bit and make use of it. But in order to make use of it, you need to understand these components. So this can be just for your exploration. Explore it, and then I can take your questions. Leave your comments, and then I will try to answer your queries. I hope you're gonna make use of this video and then try to create your assessment. Thank you. Don't forget to publish your activity. Publish your activity and assign your activity, right? And once you're assigned, you can see the dashboard. Let me show you the dashboard. For example, this activity I haven't assigned yet. I have assigned, but it is with my different account. So I'm not showing you that, but if you are interested, let's say there are some activities which I have. Look, IB1, look, if I click on the dashboard, it is from the last year. And if you click on summary, right, so you can see the student's name here and then how they have done their responses. So I have the responses even after 1 year. Look, there's one student here. She did not attempt any question. So I know this student tried 5 questions. Out of 5, 1 is correct, others are wrong. How you can help your students? Let's say you have assigned as a homework or a self-assessment activity, and you are at home or during your weekend, you're just checking my students are doing something or not. So let's say you realize, okay, this is the stuff you see. Click on that particular screen. Let's say this is wrong. Click here and click on the message box. Send them feedback. They cannot reply to the feedback, but they can receive your feedback. And when you give them feedback, you can write in text as well as in math, as I suggested earlier, right? So they want reply. You cannot get reply from students on the screen, but they will see that my teacher left some feedback. So this is another way how you can make use of the dashboard, right? This is like a teacher and like a student. That's how they're gonna see this. And yeah, whatever things you have. So you can just go to summary and see these are not real names because I just changed them. So yeah, once it is done, do share with me your feedback and then give me your questions so that I can get back to you. Thank you.